Hi guys, in this tutorial I will show you how to debug your Sims 4 script mods. Being able to debug your script mod will save you a lot of frustration. Since you will be able to tell exactly what is wrong, you will also be able to see all the variables that an object which can come quite useful. So first thing you want to do is download pycharm Professional. This will not work with the community version. You can download the 30 days trial, and I think you can just uninstall it after it expired and install it again. If not, you will have to get it by other means. I won't be downloading it again since I already have it installed. You don't have to uninstall the community version of pycharm, just make sure you install it to another directory. So after you have installed the professional version of pycharm, you open it up. It should already open your Sims 4 project. But if it didn't, go to File, Open, and select your Sims 4 project directory. Okay, so now we will keep pycharm open and we will go to the directory where you have installed pycharm Professional. We are going to enter the debug eggs folder and we are going to copy the egg file to the mods folder. Now we are going to change the file extension from .egg to .zip. Now we are going to open the archive, and we are going to go to the directory where you have Python installed. We are going to go into the lib folder, and we are going to copy the C-types folder into the archive. In the archive we are going to enter the C-types folder, and we are going to delete the pycache folder. Now we can close the archive. We are going to go back to pycharm. We are going to go to Add Configuration. We are going to go into Templates, and we are going to select the Python debug server. We are going to leave the ID name to localhost and we can change the port to anything you want. We then click on Create Configuration, then I am going to name it Sims 4 Debug. But you can name it whatever you want. We click Apply. Now we want to create a new command. You can name the command whatever you want, but the easiest to remember is just start bug. This command will start the debugger. We want to go back to Edit Configuration, and we are going to copy these 2 lines of code, and paste them inside our function. It's going to say that the module is not found, but this is fine. Now we want to compile our code. Now we are going to make sure Sims 4 Debug is selected, and we are going to go to Run, and Debug and the name that you named your configuration. Now the debugger is waiting for a connection. We are going to start the Sims 4 now. Once we are in game, you want to open the console, and type in your debug command. Then we are going to Alt-Tab out of the game, and we are going to see some red text, but this is fine. The debugger paused the execution of the program when it attached, so we are going to resume clicking on this green icon. Now the debugger is set up and should work correctly. I am going to demonstrate it right now. I've set up this example over here. I am going to set a breakpoint over here. I am going to go into the game and run the command. Now I'm going to Alt-Tab out of the game, and we can see that the debugger stopped at my breakpoint. Now we can step individually through the code by clicking this blue icon. This is my small script that collects all the collectibles in the neighborhood. I am going to step through it and explain it to you. So these first 2 lines of code get the current active sim, and if we expand we can see all the variables and other objects it contains. There is a lot of interesting stuff over here. I would recommend going through these variables and objects if you are a newbie. It will help you understand how the game works. So in this loop, we are cycling through all the currently loaded objects and we are comparing their ID to 44,507, which is the ID of the raw collectible. As you can see, it's checking this value against my value. And it's going to do that for each object until it finds a match, in which case it's going to call the function which pushes an interaction to the sim to collect the collectible. I am going to set a new breakpoint outside the loop and resume the program. We are going to break again once the IDs match. We are calling the function to push an interaction into the sim. It takes as arguments the instance id of the interaction, the object, and the sim to make the interaction. We are getting our client object and the affordance manager. We are going to use the affordance manager to get an affordance instance from our definition ID. This is checking if the sim is able to start an interaction. If it does, it goes over here. We are going to create the context for our interaction. And now the final line is finally going to push the interaction, taking our affordance instance, our object, and the context. As you can see, our result returned true. I am going to resume the game now, and go back into the game to see the result. As you can see, our sim goes to collect all the rocks in the neighborhood. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope it can be useful to you. One more thing to keep in mind is to take the zip archive out of the mods folder when you are not debugging, since it will slow down your game, and just put it back in when you need it again.